You're listening to episode 202 of the Autism Mom Coach podcast, the sneaky ways you may be escalating your autistic child's meltdowns. Hi, I'm Lisa Candera, mother to an 18-year-old son with autism and founder of the Autism Mom Coach. When my son hit puberty, aggression and self-harm became part of our daily lives, and I needed to figure out how to stay steady while he was dysregulated. No one had any real answers, so I made it my mission to figure this out myself. Through years of trial and error, I have created tools that have helped me stop escalating meltdowns, make impossible decisions, and advocate more effectively for my son for the long game. I've now coached over 100 moms through these same struggles. In this podcast, I share everything I've learned and what I am still learning with you. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. I am so glad you are here, and I hope you are doing well. In last week's podcast, I talked about the most important thing that you can do during a meltdown. This week, I want to talk to you about the things that you may be doing that are actually making the meltdowns worse. Of course, not intentionally, but there are things that we all do or don't do that end up escalating or prolonging meltdowns. I know this because I'm a pro at escalating and prolonging a meltdown. I used to do it all of the time, and I probably still do it a bit now, but a lot less. And I know I'm not alone in this. In fact, when I am working with new clients, I get really specific with them, trying to understand the full cycle of a meltdown in their home. I ask a lot of questions, and one of the things that I am always looking for, what are the things that mom and dad may be doing or not doing that are actually making this worse? Not intentionally. This is not a gotcha. It is because the easiest things to change are the things that we as the parents are in complete control of. And one of the things that we can control are the things that we do and we don't do. Now, I just want to back up by reminding you all, when I say that you're doing things that are making it worse or escalating, again, not judgment. Meltdowns are really confusing. They are jolting. They have you in fight or flight. And it is inevitable that you're sometimes going to default to parenting styles that you don't even agree with, right? And so you can be completely on board with what a meltdown is and what it isn't, and how traditional discipline does not work for your autistic child. And then you are in flight, and you'll find that sometimes those parenting habits, those things that you've learned, they crop back up. And so maybe you start scolding or talking too much, or, expecting compliance immediately. And then it's not happening, and you're getting more and more frustrated. These are the things I like to focus on because, again, if they are things that you are doing and not doing, we start there because that is the place where you have the most control. All right, so let's get to some of the things that you might be doing that are in fact escalating the meltdown or prolonging it. Number one, talking too much. When your kid starts to escalate, most of us want to jump in and shut it down right away. And one of the ways that we try to do that is by talking. We are over-explaining, we are reminding, we are correcting, we are trying to negotiate, we are giving our kids multiple options. And all of this really does serve to escalate the meltdown, or at the very least, it is not helping turn down the temperature. Things like take a breath, use your words, why are you upset? Just calm down. None of this helps. And remember, when your child is in a meltdown, This is not a teachable moment. And all of this extra input is just that. It's extra input into a kiddo who is already overwhelmed. And here's the thing, not only is your child not listening to you, quote unquote, and not hearing what you're saying and not responding to it in the way that you want them to, they are picking up and responding to the way you are speaking to them. Okay. Your urgency, your anger, your frustration, your impatience, your desperation. They can feel all of that. And so, even though you might be saying, you just need to calm down or take a breath, if you're doing that through gritted teeth and your anxiety is high, your child is going to pick up on all of that. And that is what is going to escalate them even more. All right, number 2. This goes hand in hand with talking too much. Threats and consequences. Now, this is again an example of probably something you experienced as a kiddo, or you've been taught that is the way to respond to a child who is out of control or not listening. And that is to get firm and show them who is in charge. And so you start reminding them that they are losing the iPad, or that we're going to leave early, or there's going to be some sort of consequence that's going to happen because of their behavior. And while those consequences might be exactly what you do end up doing, and those are boundaries that you are going to enforce, and that is all fine, threatening them in the middle of the thing is not going to help. In fact, it's going to escalate your kiddo, because now they're like, oh, well, hell, if I'm going to lose the iPad anyway, I'm really going to light it up right now. And so I'm not saying that you don't impose boundaries and consequences. What I am saying is, threatening them in the middle might not be the best solution. It is like fuel on a fire. Number 3, your tone and your volume. Again, you all know this. Our kiddos are like tuning forks for our emotions. And even if they are not listening to the content of what we are saying, they are sure picking up on the way we are saying it. And here's the thing, your voice will give you away every time. Even if it's not the volume, which a lot of times it is, our volumes will go up. When you are in fight flight mode, your vocal cords are constricting. Your voice gets tighter, it gets higher. They pick up on all of it and they react to it. So it's that saying, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. Our kiddos are really in tune to the how, and they understand and they perceive and they respond to those slightest shifts. So when you are amped up because they are amped up and you're trying to talk to them and your voice is giving you away, that is another just subtle little thing that you're doing that could be escalating the meltdown. And you don't even realize it, because in fact, you're trying so hard to reduce the meltdown, to make it stop. And so what I say to all parents in this situation is, until you have hold of what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and how it's going to come out of your mouth, say nothing. Just say nothing. Number 4, sarcasm and pettiness. Now, if this does not apply to you, good on you, but I'll have to tell you, it applied to me. I would get really frustrated and I would get petty with my kid. I would say things that just weren't necessary. And it was not helpful at all. He picked up on it and it just added to the overall aggravation of the entire situation. Some examples of sarcasm or pettiness that I've engaged in are things like, oh, you listen when you want something, or you're nice when you want something. Those kinds of things just, yeah, I understand why I said them at the time. I was really frustrated, but it just doesn't help. It didn't help him. It didn't help me. Some other things that you might be saying is, you don't do that with your grandmother, or you're nice to your teacher and, oh, your teacher thinks that you're, a perfect little child. Things like that, not necessary. And so if you're getting sarcastic, if you're getting petty, I get it. Do it in your head, not out loud. And then finally, and this goes hand in hand with the sarcasm and the pettiness, the dramatics, the big emotional reactions that we have that make things worse. So this could be things like saying, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. You're ruining the entire day. Storming out of a room, slamming a door, slamming cabinets, all of that stuff is you in fight, flight, and trying to release some of the frustration that you are having. I totally get it, totally valid. However, when you're doing it in the moment that your child is already escalated and so are you, this again, fuel to the fire. And so if you are doing any of these things, no shade. It is normal to be reactive when you are in a meltdown situation, because for most of us, these are not a once in a while thing. They can sometimes even be back to back. That's why part of this work is figuring out the things that you might be doing that are escalating the meltdown or prolonging it, so that you can get some of these in hand so that you are reducing the meltdowns. This doesn't mean you have to do everything perfectly or you have to do all of these things I've suggested. Just pick one or two things that you may be doing that you've noticed of yourself and tweak those. Start small and build from there and see the impact that it has on you and your kiddo. Now, if you want to dive deeper into my strategy for reducing meltdowns by 50% this week, grab my free training. In less than 1 hour, I am going to walk you through my before, during, and after process for handling meltdowns more effectively, so that you are not only reducing the number of meltdowns, you're reducing the intensity, and you are increasing your confidence in knowing that you can handle this. Nobody wants to handle a meltdown, but like I've said before, they will happen. And when you are prepared, when you know that you can handle it, it brings so much more confidence in you, less reactivity, less fear, and that alone can help you reduce the meltdowns right away. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to today's episode. You can go grab the free meltdown training in the show notes, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to the Autism Mom Coach. If you are ready to apply the principles you are learning in these episodes to your life, it is time to schedule a consultation call with me. Podcasts are great, but the ahas are fleeting. Real change comes from application and implementation, and this is exactly what we do in my one-on-one coaching program. To schedule your consultation, go to my website, theautismmomcoach.com, work with me, and take the first step to taking better care of yourself so that you can show up as the parent you want to be for your child with autism.